In from the First Samuel chapter 3. My care group and I been talking about this for 5 times, I think on 5 different occasions, and I guess today will be the 6th time. So we are so ready to wrap this up, but in the next 20-25 minutes, we will still talk about it because it is still awesome. It is still awesome. The reason why I feel like this is awesome is because it has a lot of these hidden gems, a lot of things that it reminds me of a couple of movies that was very famous, and I enjoy this type of movies with a lot of symbolism and a lot of like hidden meaning. For example, is this one. Anyone recognize this one? What movie is this? Parasite. It's a Korean movie, but get a worldwide recognition, right? And this movie is very interesting because, again, there are a lot of hidden meaning. And every scene was meticulously designed and very intentional. If this came out in 2019, I believe, and the premise is that there's this battle between the poor and the rich, right? Not battle in the sense of like a real war, but it's more of like a tension and jealousy. And there is this rich family that is hiring the young son, I guess, from this poor family, and they invited this guy to tutor like the daughter, I believe the older daughter, and in this beautiful mansion. One of the big sin and was talked about a lot. Even the director also explained a lot of things about this is this scene, right? This is the first time that the main character, which is the tutor from the poor family, name is Kiwoo, coming to the house, the mansion for the first time. And he's looking at this giant wall, right? This is a mansion. It's like a giant concrete wall full of portraits of the family. And then in that wall, there is this drawing from the son. The son is like maybe like a toddler or maybe 6 or 7 years old. It's like this drawing is a drawing of it looks like an abstract, right? But it turns out to be, again, spoiler. I guess this is spoiler alert, but it's 2019, so we all should know the story, right? This drawing is a drawing of a man that lived hidden or in hiding in their house. So think about it. So this is a family picture, the wall of family picture, and there is this abstract or hidden things in the form of a drawing that was drawn by the son of the rich family. And it feels like this type of things actually we can find a lot in 1 Samuel chapter 3 as well. Let me give you an example. In this verse, 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 3. The Lamb of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was lying down in the temple of the Lord where the ark of God was. We talk about this a ton, right? We probably know by now the Lamb of God is the menorah. It has a lot of symbolism in itself. I will not touch on it, but what I really want to talk about is the Lamb of God had not yet gone out means that it signified a time of change, right? Because it's dawn. It's from the night when it's dark, not yet gone out, meaning that it's about to go out, but not yet. So, like 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the morning. Following this? Right? I think Pastor Jeffrey also mentioned about it. And this is a foreshadowing of the role of Samuel. Samuel is an agent. Samuel is an agent of transition, right? Samuel is the last judge that ruled Israel, and then after that is king. So he is actually the agent of change from the age of the judges to the kingdom of Israelites, or the monarchy of the Israelites, right? And why am I telling you this? I think it's relevant for us. My care group, for example, we used to call ourselves the young couple care group because we were just recently married. Now we call ourselves the young, the more hype young family care group, because we have another young family care group that's not so young. We are the true young family care group. And I know that some others as well are actually going through some transition. And we are also in transition. That's my point. Like Jiro just graduated from university and now starting to work, right? Jiweni is now a teenager parent, right? Give a round of applause for Jiweni. If I remember correctly, I was really bad when I was a teenager, especially at the early age, so good luck. Well, also, 2025 is actually declared by the Roman Catholic Church and the nation of Israel to be the year of Jubilee. The year of Jubilee is in Israel, in the Israeli culture as well as in the Bible, is a time of change as well. The year of release and restoration. Some believe that this is actually the last Jubilee. Jubilee happened like every 50 years, and this could be the last one, meaning that we're nearing the end of times. Usually, or not usually, but what the book of Joel actually said about this, about the last Jubilee, is there will be latter rain, meaning the presence of God will be poured out immensely in our lives, in our ages, in our generation. And we had a taste of it a little bit, right? In Next Gen Conference, we have Sam over here that arranged that big conference for us, and we appreciate Samuel, but more than that, we feel the presence of God. We get the taste of a little revival, and we believe that it's just a start. It's just a start. So, for you and I, who are living in this time of transition, we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared, and we definitely can learn from Samuel what to do in the time of transition. Are we ready?
Yes.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Give you a hint. It is exactly what Pastor Jaws actually preached about last week. It's obedient. Let's read 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 10 to 21. It's a lot of verses, but again, it's a fun one, right? With the book of Samuel is fun. The Lord came and stood there, calling as the other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel said, Speak, for your servant is listening. And the Lord said to Samuel, See, I am about to do something in Israel that will make the ears of everyone who hears about it tingle. Ooh. And then at that time, I will carry out against Eli everything I spoke against his family from beginning to end. For I told him that I would judge his family forever because of the sin he knew about. His sons blasphemed God, and he failed to restrain them. Therefore, I swore to the house of Eli, the guilt of Eli's house will never be atoned for by sacrifice or offering. Let me pause a little bit over here, because there's something fun over here as well. There's a fun fact that this is also foreshadowing. Samuel is the chosen one, the last judge, and he's replacing Eli, the rejected one. Okay? Who's the first king of Israel? Saul, King Saul. Who's the second one? King David. Who's the chosen one? Who's the chosen one between King Saul or King David? King David. King David is also replacing Saul. And a spoiler alert, King Saul is also rejected by God. Fun, right? Fun? That's how fun it is for Samuel chapter 3. Should we extend the series? No? No? No, I didn't think so. All right, continue. Samuel lay down until the morning and then opened the doors of the house of the Lord. He was afraid to tell Eli the vision. But Eli called him and said, Samuel, my son. Samuel answered, Here I am. What was it he said to you? Eli asked. Do not hide from it. Do not hide it from me. May God deal with you, be it ever so severely, if you hide from me anything he told you. So Samuel told him everything, hiding nothing from him. Then Eli said, He is the Lord. Let him do what is good in his eyes. The Lord was with Samuel as he grew up, and he let none of Samuel's word fall to the ground. And all Israel from Dan to Beersheba recognized that Samuel was attested as a prophet of the Lord. The Lord continued to appear at Shiloh, and there he revealed himself to Samuel through his word. First thing that we can notice and we can learn from Samuel is from the 17th, he was told to ask, or he was told by Eli to tell Eli what's going on. The next verse, he's telling everything. He obeyed, and he obeyed immediately. Well, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Theo. I'm one of the care group leader in this church. And I have a wife. My wife is over here, Nia. Say hi. And I also have two siblings. They're all in Indonesia. One is an older sister, and then I have a younger brother. My younger brother is a rather interesting person with very interesting characters. I sometimes cannot comprehend what he's thinking. I don't understand why he's making decisions that seemingly obviously wrong, but he does that. I don't know. And that does not actually sit well with my wife. They have a good relationship, but there are times that my wife's so frustrated with what my brother is doing. We have a good relationship. We talk a lot, but because of that different in characters, sometimes we're like so perplexed. And there's this one time. I actually just came back from Singapore a couple weeks back. And before I went to Singapore, my wife requested of my brother to buy her or buy us a matcha powder from Indonesia. Again, he lives in Indonesia. I'm going to Singapore, and he's also going to be in Singapore at the same time. So my wife figured out that, okay, let me try this famous high matcha brand from Indonesia. Requested it. She's very detailed, right? If you know my wife's very detailed, and she checked everything first, how much it is in IDR, in rupiah, and translate it in the US, ready to transfer everything. Requested to my brother to buy it, to purchase that, right? My brother replied, right after that, yes, sure, okay. In the back of our mind is like, okay, we got it covered, right? A couple days after that, we're asking him, hey, what's your bank account? We want to transfer some money. And he was like, oh, not yet. I have not bought it. I haven't bought it. And then, what's happening? Sold out. Sold out. Yeah, that's my brother. And that's not the first time that he's done something like that to us, Time is of the essence on things like this. Yes, this is a small things. we were annoyed, but we're not pissed, right? But let me tell you something, that there is actually things that God asks us to do, and when we don't obey it immediately, we might running out of time. Door might be closed. So obey immediately. Eli is rejected, right? Eli was rejected, and one of the reasons why Eli was rejected is because this mistake, that he delayed properly addressing his son's wickedness. And what God said about him, about this, is that in 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 30, I will honor those who honor me, and I will despise those who think lightly of me. Not obeying God immediately is thinking lightly of him. And we don't want to do that. We do not want to do that. Also, Samuel, obey God when it does not make any sense. What was it that he said to you, Eli asked? Do not hide it from me. May God deal with you, be it so ever so severely, if you hide from me anything he told you. You remember what God said to Samuel? It is about the demise, about the negative things, about the bad news that Eli will face. Not just Eli, but Eli and his family, the whole family. What is the point? What is the point of God telling Samuel about his own mentor, his own father figure, about the bad news or bad thing that will happen to their family? I have no idea. Our care group actually talked about it. Michelle brought it up, and we're like, maybe God's testing him, maybe God's testing Samuel, but we don't know. What we know is it does not make sense at all. Yesterday we have our first teen care groups, and guess who came? All the PK, all the pastor's kids. Anyone? People know the term PK over here, right? Pastor's kids. We have Kylie. We have Samuel was there. We have Kylie, and we have Amy. Those are the three PKs. And the next PK. No, she is a PK. She's a PK. Preacher's kids, okay? Different PK. Okay, another thing about me, I have two kids. One is my daughter Z, and the younger one is Zeke, is a boy. So we have this tradition. We have this tradition every month. We take turns. We take turns to once a month, every Friday night. Sorry, what am I saying? Once a month on a Friday night, we have a date. So this month is my turn with Z. And this is a phase of loving pasta and pizza, not just any pasta and pizza. It needs to be from a fancy restaurant. She loves being, it's kind of sassy. Yeah, she loves this place. It's in Danville. If you have a chance, check it out. I will not be able to pronounce it, but if you want to know what it is, let me know. I will give the Yelp or the Google Maps link to you. But this is a good place. We did it 2 weeks back. Enjoying conversation, but she's also in this phase that asking a lot of why. Why, papi? Why, Alus? Why do I have to go wash my hands after I pee-pee? I'm like, it's 30. I still answer it. I tried to answer it, right? But there are things that I just cannot answer because she wouldn't get it. She wouldn't understand it. For example, why did it? We call Zeke did it at home. Why did they need to poop? Like, how would you explain that to his 3-year-old? So how would you explain that? Doesn't make sense for her. But we know what's going on, right? And sometimes we actually are kind of like Z, like asking God, why God, why? Why? Why God, why? Why do I have to go through this? And that's okay, right? Just like what I told you, I guess I'm trying not to be angry when Z asks those questions. And I don't think God will be angry as long as we still obey. And obeying is trusting. Obeying is trusting. Even when it doesn't make sense, obeying is trusting. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. This is slightly different than NIV version. I like this version because I experienced it myself. 2014, I graduated from my undergrad. Yes, I'm that old. I look very young, but again, I have a wife and 2 kids, so roughly I'm about that age. Graduated from college, graduated from undergrad, and thinking about where should I go next. I really wanted to experience something else, experience something more, and I was accepted in this university in Netherlands, in Dutch, but God opened the door for me to go to the US. And my parents told me to take that opportunity. I was also in waiting for 2 campuses, and the one that accepted me is USC. I do not know about that university at all. I do not know. The other one that I was actually waiting is Purdue. I wanted to go to Purdue, but USC replied back to me first, and I'm a bit weird because it was the spring intake. We usually have like a spring intake and a fall intake. Fall intake is the more common one, and not a lot of school offer spring intake. I got the news from USC is like December. School starts January. Purdue has not replied back to me in early December, so we were like, okay. I wanted to go to that school, despite it's in the middle of nowhere, right, Vic? LA is nice. But if you know me, I'm not that big city boy, so not my favorite. And again, USC, I do not know anything about this school. I just read this brochure about the school. It's pretty high up there, and then I didn't have the 4th school to send my GRE scores, which is some sort of like an ACT for masters. You get to choose free. You get to send free applications to this like 4 schools. Beyond that, you have to pay, and I only have 3 at that time. And okay, I just read about USC. I just put USC. Hopefully, that will be like my minimum. If anything else fails, this school will accept me. That's the idea at that time. And this is the school. My safety net is the one that replied back to me first. And well, long story short, I ended up going to USC, that school that I did not know about. And well, I met my wife over there. So it's a special place now. It's a special place. So trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your understanding, and you will get a spouse. I'm sorry. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Okay? Can I invite Jazz and Koyos? The third one, the last one, is Samuel, obey when there is no immediate personal benefit. A mouthful, okay? Obey when there is no immediate personal benefit. There's nothing good, at least for me, there's nothing good that I can think about when Samuel was told about this, about what's going to happen to Eli, And when he's telling Eli about what's going to happen to his family, the bad news, bad things that are going to happen to his family. So, yeah, there's nothing in it for Samuel. And this questions, what's in it for me? I think lately we've been asking these questions way too many times. I think this is one of like a bad cultural influence that social media maybe brought it, or maybe it's just the nature of us as human beings always think about our personal benefits first. And I'm not saying that there is no benefit in obeying God. As a matter of fact, Psalm 19, verse 11, there's a great reward. This is God's promise that there's a great reward for those who obey God's word. But again, so there is a great reward, and I'm sure it's actually a big one. See, Samuel in the verse 19 was said, the Lord was with Samuel as he grew up, and he let none of Samuel's words fall to the ground. That's a pretty big thing, but it didn't happen immediately. It didn't happen immediately. You know what? We have a lot of example. We have a lot of example of people following or just being motivated by personal benefits, and it is dangerous. I think it is dangerous to just be motivated by incentive or personal benefit, because we see it time and time again that these people tend to dethrone God from the rightful place and replace ourselves or whoever in that place. And on the other side, we also have a lot of examples on the people that actually keep obeying God when definitely there is nothing in it for this person. And I want to mention one name here. One of my can remember, Alus. You know Alus, one of our main guitar player, serving a lot. He's also busy. He's busy with a lot of things. He actually part of 2 care groups as well. So he's doing a lot. He's doing a lot in the church, at work. He's also very I don't know, kind of obsessed with Pokemon, right? He has a lot in his plate, basically. There's a lot in his plate. But recently, he feels that God's calling him to start this workshop for our music team or worship team, actually. So it's not just music, but also everyone, like sound, camera, lyrics, multimedia. He's starting it, and we're actually kicking it off next week in our worship gathering. So if you're interested to join, reach out to Aluz and Michelle. We have all of great things lined up, and Aluz is preparing all of that for us. But we don't have to actually look that far. Or, I mean, it's not far. But we can actually look even deeper and closer. That is our God, Jesus. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. What if Jesus said in Gethsemane, what's in it for me? You and I are not going to be here. You and I will not be able to say that we are His. God, we're yours. Not be able to say that. We wouldn't even probably know. I don't know if we will even exist if Jesus did not. If Jesus say what's in it for Him, and it bounds. I invite you to stand on your feet. I like to do this time like a reflection time. That's what I'm going to call this. And can I have the lighting to be dim a little bit. I requested the song More Like Jesus to our worship leaders today. And the reason why is simple. Pay attention to the verse, to the lyrics of the verse, and we know what he did for us. There's nothing in it for him. There's nothing in it for him. It's everything for us. And he still obeyed. Let's just sing the song and think about it. Think about what he did